Hi folks, I'm Brian Chaney and I'm here to show you today how the BidWERX tool is going to help you find more work and win more work so that your business and organization can continue and expand and grow. We're going to talk about a few features. I'm going to give you a short demo and then I'll show you the pricing. Right here on the BidWERX.ai homepage, just on the website, we can come in here and look at the features. We're going to really focus in on a couple key areas, which is find it so that you can find the right opportunities, work it so that you can work on them, and obviously we all want to win. So that's what our main focus is on. So let's just go magically log into the BidWERX system. It's app.bidwerx.ai. There's plenty of web links from our site right now. So once you come into the home page, I want to show you a couple areas that you're really going to want to focus in on so that you can find the best opportunities. That's first off is under My Organization. We're going to come in here under Edit. There's basic information all the way to billing up underneath here, but we're going to narrow you in on a couple key areas. One is your primary NAICS code and your secondary NAICS codes. Those are key drivers for how we're going to help you find work and information. The next one that you really need to focus in on is your capabilities. What is it that you're good at? What is it that you're selling? Because if you put these keywords in here, we're going to be able to use those keywords with your product service codes, your NAICS codes, to really help you go find work in a way that SAM.gov or other systems aren't doing it right now, because this is not a keyword search. Now, let's jump straight into the opportunities that we're finding. If we look at the open opportunity list, this is a live feed from SAM.gov. And so what we're seeing is filtering and sorting based on our fit score. Now that fit score, like I said, is built on the information that you put in. So the more information that you can put in, the more complete your profile is, the better this fit score is going to be. But maybe I don't want to look at solicitations. I want to look further up the funnel and look for sources sought. So I'm going to go ahead and filter that. It's going to refilter this list, resort it, and give us a new fit score. If you notice right here, there's a team fit score that's sort of blurred out. That's a feature that's coming really, really soon, and it's going to help you figure out what the best team is. So it's not just what you can do well, but it's also what your partners and you can do together. So if you want to look at any of these opportunities, we see we're 66% and some change match on this one. I'm going to say it's a NAICS code that we actually have in our system. You can click on partners and look at all of the capabilities that it pulled out that we might need. And it sees that we're a pretty good fit, but we definitely have some gaps that we're going to need to fill. And that's not unusual. We don't have a lot of partners added in here. And so that would be a way that you could come in here and look to add a partner. And if anybody's in the system that can do the work and they're sharing their information, they'll drop down right now. And if not, but you know somebody that maybe can do cybersecurity assessment, go ahead and add them and invite them into the system so that you can create a better team. Now, if we are interested in this, to explore more just from that information, we can click on Mark is Interested right up here, and it starts to open up new tabs. But if you want to click out and look at the source data, you can click on that outward button and pull straight up into SAM.gov. Now, as opposed to setting up this on a short demo, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to maybe a My Opportunity that you're already working on, and I'll just show you how the system works. So here's one that we did earlier on. We have our documents loaded, solicitations, proposals, maybe some different rubrics that you wanted to look at. And all this Discover area is really looking at trying to make sure that you make a good go or no-go decision. We've already gone through this whole process, but it's going to run through a summary so that you can sort of see the top scopes, compliance areas, maybe some things that might make you wonder if you should press on or not. And if all that looks good, keep moving to questions. There's a couple different questions that are preset in there, both technical and contracting. These are questions that you need to answer for yourself or for sending back to the contracting officer. And all of these tabs work in a very similar way. So if you're happy with those, you want to go look at the instructions. What am I going to be required to do? And make sure that you have the information that you can actually adequately address. And then finally, how am I going to be evaluated or scored? If all of those look good, you can click on a response outline. It'll extract out the best it can what an overarching outline will look like, and go write. We suggest you use whatever tools you're comfortable with in writing, and if you need any help figuring out how to do that or what tools to use, please just message us. Once you're done writing, you'll come in and look at and evaluate your drafts. And this first one for gaps, I really use this in my first like 4 or 5 rounds as a writer. I'm giving it my rough draft, letting it see where maybe there's some concerns, maybe some ambiguities, maybe a regulatory or a compliance issue, discrepancies. We've seen it pick up measurement discrepancy errors. And it gives you some recommendations to clarify. You can do this as many times as you want by continuously creating a new chat, uploading your new document, and running it again. Once you're happy with that, move over to score. Score is really where you're kind of doing a pseudo source selection. It's going to evaluate it you based on the evaluation criteria that it pulled out. And as you can see here, it's starting to look at technical approaches, strengths, weaknesses, weighting, and even gives you some recommendations on how you can improve. It goes all the way down the evaluation criteria until you get a final score. What we suggest is getting your scores up into the 85 and above range. We've seen the best results at that point. And it also gives you a prioritized recommendations. If the evaluation criteria is more robust, like some contracts, it'll even give you recommendations on what will raise your score the most. Once you're done with that, move over to best practices. It's kind of the spit and polish. It's also the area where we're constantly updating based on our research, our findings, so that you don't have to do that. It's going to give you some overlap, but it may not be as much overlap as you might think, because best practices start to look at all sorts of different things that maybe you aren't just being evaluated on. And finally, we have compliance. Compliance is more of a checklist right now. We're continuing to evaluate how we make this better and better so that we can do a final white glove compliance check. But right now, it's giving you a checklist of things that you need to go check on. I mentioned one thing earlier, and that was partners. Kind of moving down here, there's a way to add partners and invite new ones if they're already in the system. You can go ahead and get them started, move them through so that your team fit score gets going, and that will help you narrow on opportunities that not only you can prime, but you as a team can win. But we don't believe in any of that if you can't afford it. So we created the pricing model to be transparent, where you can use a free version that just helps you find it. You're not going to get any of the AI kind of marks, but you're going to get not a team fit score. You'll just get your fit score. Once you're finding opportunities and you want to go bid on them, it's $200 a month. That basically gets you 2 evaluation opportunities, and that's as many times as you need to run it, and it scales from there. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Reach out to us on emails or even schedule a demo. Thanks for your time today.